Hey guys, welcome to my podcast about DC Comics. We also will do separate podcasts about anime. Today me and Saxon are going to be talking about the sort of, fucking rank anime. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the Snyder Cut and
the 4-hour-long Justice League movie, which is the Snyder Cut. Just making.
I'm pretty sure they know that.
No. Put an image of the movie.
I'm kidding, that's a joke.
Don't say the N-word too much.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. But this will contain spoilers, so, prepare your own caution. Play the intro.
You don't have an intro.
Okay, first, let's talk about the music. One of the things I noticed about the movie is the music was very good. When they're in fight scenes, this electrical guitar riff started playing.
When women come, it goes like,
played some Aboriginal shit. Oh my god.
Played some Aboriginal.
Anyway, the music was actually a really good part of the film. I'm gonna give it a good, decent 8 out of 10. There weren't any classical hits or anything, but it was a pretty good.
I'll give it 8 as well. It's
okay.
8.5 because the movie had a lot of unexpected things, especially at the end.
Fair enough.
Like, no one expected Martian Manhunter to be in it. And there was a lot of scenes that you wouldn't expect to be in the normal thing. And one of my favorite parts was Flash wasn't a huge.
We get to that at the end.
He wasn't a huge fucking pussy in the whole movie, like he was last time. He's like, I'm gonna run in and I'm gonna save some people and I'm gonna go.
Okay. Next, I wanted to talk about was the other thing acting. Acting was pretty good. Especially, I'm going to talk about a good minute about Cyborg. Now, Cyborg was one of my favorite things about this movie because you actually felt really sorry for him. He was a really good character, and I reckon he was the heart and soul of this movie. And also, he was pretty OP. I'm going to say everyone in here was pretty OP except Batman, because it's an older version of Batman, which is alright. I'm not too fast. What do you want to say, Sax? Do you say anything?
I think a lot of people are overpowered, but Flash, a lot of potential that he had came up to the other movie, and a lot of people didn't expect that. A lot of people don't actually know that about the Flash, because he goes faster.
What about the Flash?
He can go faster than the speed of light.
I think everyone knows that about the Flash.
No, but people don't know that it can go back in time. And then that means he can heal his wounds, he can heal his friends, so technically he's invincible. As long as he starts running, he's invincible, unless of course you get his legs off. But I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, but he technically heal his legs back up. He can't heal back limbs. He can heal back like cuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, next thing, action. Now, I was actually really surprised with the action. Like, yes, you do notice that there are a lot of slow motion shots in this movie, but I didn't think they affected the movie that much. I felt like they were good, but there certainly were some slow motion parts where they really shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But the action was still amazing.
And the storyline, it's way better than the original.
How it led up to the action. So it's building up all the suspense. You're like, oh my god, the action is here, it's coming, and then the final battle is so awesome. Everything about the action in this movie is awesome. I'm giving it a straight up 10 out of 10. What do you say, Saxon?
I'd also give it a 10 out of 10. Next week we can talk about Darkseid, like the characters and stuff.
Yeah, the villains. Steppenwolf stepped up a notch from Joss Whedon's version. So in the scene where he's talking to Darkseid, he says, Darkseid says, "You betrayed Darkseid." That also gives a lot of insight about Steppenwolf. He said you also have to invade another 500 planets. So obviously, I think Steppenwolf betrayed Darkseid, and then now he's on his redemption thing, trying to earn back trust from Darkseid, which he failed sadly. But you actually find out his motivations when he says, "I want to go home." So, yeah, literally that one line changed Steppenwolf. Also, his design was amazing. He looked so much more intimidating and intriguing than before. And yeah, Steppenwolf was really a step up. What do you want to say about Steppenwolf, Saxon?
I mean, I think Steppenwolf is definitely way better than he was in the original Justice League, because he didn't have much backstory. You didn't know what he was even fighting for originally. All you knew that he was going for 3 cubes. And now in this movie, you know, a bunch of storyline, and they don't expand the storyline, like they don't stretch it out. They just show you what they need to show, and turns out what they need to show is 4 hours long. But
yeah,
my fucking god, it is so worth it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like 4 hours. It legit.
Well, it does feel like 4 hours.
Sort of.
It definitely feels like 4 hours, but you're hooked the entire time.
It's like you've seen a lot of scenes before if you've previously watched the Justice League, but then seeing those new scenes are just interesting because you don't know what's gonna happen, and it's always good when you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and even the scenes from the older Joss Whedon's ones were improved upon. They added better music, better visual effects, better camera shots, and I think that really improved the movie. And I also wanted to give another 10 out of 10 in this movie, and the camera shots. They were spectacular. Like, it really gave you in depth what you need to know. So I'm giving it a definite 10 out of 10.
I would also give it a 10 out of 10.
Now, on to Darkseid.
She.
Yeah. As a Darkseid fan, I'm so happy. I'm so excited, and all I can say is I'm happy they didn't nerf my boy. Because if they nerfed Darkseid, I would cry. Because Darkseid is so powerful, and my god, they didn't nerf my boy. He was in there for like 5 minutes at least, and I loved him. Sometimes for a villain you don't need motives.
They're just pure evil.
Yeah, but they have to be interesting at the least, and Darkseid is interesting, and that's why people like him. He's just pure evil, no sympathy, no empathy at all. He's got excellent character design, pretty much everything. He is awesome.
The whole entire thing, from the first Justice League movie to the one now, it's like having volume 16 of comic and volume 18, and then every now and then you finally find the one that fits in the middle and everything makes sense.
Yeah.
Finally. It just makes so much sense, and it explains stuff so much more in depth, and it gives you an idea on Cyborg's past and what's happened, and with a lot of people's other past.
Yeah. And I just can't believe that Joss Whedon looked at the cut and was like, nah, I'm cutting half of this shit out, replace the Darkseid with Steppenwolf, get Darkseid out of this, make Steppenwolf really bland and two-dimensional, make the Flash a pussy, give Cyborg no backstory, make Batman basically useless. It just didn't work. And then now we get the Snyder Cut, and it's so much more of an improvement. And the fan, what's it called? The fan pleasing, or whatever you want to call it, like, what's it called? I don't know, it really did a lot for the fans of DC, like, bringing back characters, like, you gotta see, Kilowog, the Atom, Martian Manhunter. You got to see the Green Lantern in the flashback scene to where
you got to see
Darkseid.
Even though we know that a movie's not coming out, it's still just as exciting.
Now I'm going to talk about the plot, and for some reason, the plot feels so much better than Joss Whedon's, and I'm giving it a definite 10 out of 10.
Of course.
Or 9 out of 10 actually. Yeah, 9 out of 10. That's for me. Anyway, now I also wanted to move on to the final fight scene. The final fight scene was perfect. It all came together.
One of the best fight scenes.
It felt so satisfying watching the Justice League finally come together. Like, and that fatality at the end. My god. Aquaman just stabbing Steppenwolf through the chest and just going through that massive beatdown. It was so badass. And it felt so satisfying to watch it all just come together at the end. and that was spectacular and one of
In
my
the
favorite
end,
parts.
everyone did their part. Everyone did the same amount of power as others.
Yeah.
Everyone played their role, and then it all sank together, and they just clapped Steppenwolf's fucking cheeks. Like, they clapped them hard. Well, and then, at the end, Steppenwolf's head just gets... Wonder Woman decapitates him, and then Darkseid just crushes his head. I don't know why, but that was so badass.
Okay.
Darkseid, like, my god.
Yeah, final battle, definitely 10 out of 10 for me. One of the most satisfying ones. I've
That's
ever
the best part of the whole entire movie.
seen. Pretty much, yeah, it was so satisfying watching them all go. Now I wanted to talk about the nightmare sequences. Oh my god, I started so much, I swear. Yeah, the nightmare sequences, the nightmare timeline was so cool. Something about post-apocalyptic stories about comic books and stuff is so great.
Especially seeing them in live action.
Yeah, seeing an unlikely team up with Bruce Wayne and Deathstroke and the Joker was so satisfying. The dialogue was interesting between Batman and Joker.
The
Flash's suit. You know, they had the balls to kill off characters like Wonder Woman and Aquaman, major characters. You know, kill off Harley Quinn, apparently, which people love.
And the way that Batman's just like, I will not start to fucking kill you.
Yeah, that scene, something about Batman's dropping the F-bomb, perfection. Batman was really good in this film, a lot better than Joss Whedon's version. Batman, I'm gonna quote that for the rest of my life. Just make no mistake, I will fucking kill you. Just insert that scene there. And now, coming together to the overall score, I'll let Saxon go first because I feel like I've been talking a lot.
The overall score of this movie, I'd say it's a solid 9 out of 10. Like, there could be a little tweaks that could like be added and stuff, but apart from that, 9 out of 10. It was such a good movie, so good to watch. Storyline good, action good, and just little references here and there that just make it a solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, and then they just make you want more from Zack Snyder.
Even though you've already watched 4 hours of it.
Yeah, you just want more at the end. And you know what? It makes me excited for what the future has for DC, and I hope we can get the Snyderverse. Put hashtag restore the Snyderverse, and maybe we could get HBO Max and have
8 movie Justice League movie? Question mark?
yeah.
8 hour movie.
Yeah.
I have no cap. Watch that.
Wait, what? An 8 hour.
Oh, that movie would be perfect for going on a plane. Like,
Yeah.
4 hours just watching that.
Yeah. All I can tell you is I'm definitely getting HBO Max because there's going to be some good shit on there. We can talk about that later. That's for another day.
You want to go on the comics section?
I think we can leave it off at Zack Snyder's Justice League. Till another episode, we will do some more comic book reviews, some, announcements for the future, that kind of swag, and we'll be there. So, subscribe for the content. Stick around, And if you don't like DC, you don't have to watch these podcasts. It's alright, no one cares. But if you do, stick around, you might learn a thing or two. The next time, we'll be talking about Black Adam, Suicide Squad, and the Batman, which I'm all very excited about. So see you guys later.
I love